as we emanate here from
is not in the starting lineup.
See how that goes. The Bears at 10-6 overall, 8-2 in the OAC, 6-1 here at home. Otterbein at 6-11 and 4-6 under fifth-year head coach Diana Knowles. As we get ready, taking a look at the Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for tonight's matchup, and Braden Sauter, one of the officials, has nice words always to say. You look at the keys first for the Otterbein Cardinals, and, you know, it's a lot where it makes a lot of sense. It's the same things that a lot of coaches have said. Limit Ohio Northern second chance opportunities, going on to piggyback what you said about rebounding. Pray that Bryn Serban doesn't shoot well. That's an actual key. And a great ball movement on the offensive, inside and outside of the ball reversals. The keys for Ohio Northern as well here before we get ready to take a break for the national anthem. Limit transition points, rebound the ball on both ends, and make some jump shots. That is the look at both teams' keys. Back in a minute here on NK Telco Sports. You just never know who's going to be in this building here in Ada. They let Mark Bensman back in. Or Rich Bensman back in.
He probably has a key to the
nobody
door
marked
somewhere.
the doors. Yeah. To get the starting lineups here as we take a look. And again, like Dave talked about, a difference in the starting lineup. And Abby Rawlings, the 5'2 freshman at 5 points a game, rocket number 2 for the Cardinals. 6-11 on the year, 4-6 in the OAC. Maisie King, 6-foot junior, does a little bit of everything. Wearing at number 4, 9 points and 6 rebounds a game. Going along with Olivia Majors, the 5'6 senior at 8 points a game, wearing 12. Kyla Irby, a 5'7 freshman, she can flat out play, wearing 20 at 9 points a game. And rounding out the starting lineup, Ella Nagel, 5 points and 4.6 rebounds, a 5'10 sophomore, wearing 25. Is start wondering if people are nervous when the lights go out. Talk about the Ohio Northern starting lineup. It'll be Layla Dials wearing 12, a 5'7 junior. Abby Akamine, 13, a 5'7 junior at 7 points a game, along with Peyton Warnicki, the OG product, the 5'9 senior and 33. And in the post, Brooke Allen, 10.6 rebounds a game, a 6'1 junior wearing 44. But the little train that could, and the engine for the Polar Bears, 13.5 points a game, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, one of the all-time leading everything in ONU history, wearing 3, Bryn Serban. And we talked about it in the Keyhole Pizza Keys of the game. If you're Otterbein, you want to win this game, you had probably better contain her.
Yeah, Bryn Serban, as you said, plays all aspects of the game quite well. And if she gets support, Polar Bears extremely tough to beat.
So it'll be Brandon Brees, Mike Lampton, and Braden Sauter, the baseball coach at Columbus Grove, by the way, just down the road here from Ada, to referee tonight's matchup. You see the Cardinals ready to jump it up with Brooke Allen. Mark Hulsman and the Bears. As weird as it is, the year I was born in the 82-83 season had 107 against Otterbein. I don't know that they'll get there tonight. You need a pretty good effort shooting the basketball. We'll see. Left to right for the Bears here as we open up in front of a pretty good crowd. Akamine down on the inside, finds Peyton Warnicki. Warnicki, that little double down on the defensive end, and she and Dials playing pitch and catch. Down inside Allen, great move, and she's so good at that. First 20 seconds for Northern, they get a basket. That's about the 4th time at home they've done it this year. She's just away, up off the glass, and good.
And I think in the first meeting, 18 points, 12 rebounds. So Otterbein knows what she can do inside.
A lot of things to take away from that first matchup. If Otterbein hits a couple more threes, that's a completely different game. Now it's work inside and the up and under. Look what I can do. The flip off the glass from Ella Nagel. The 5'10 sophomore ties the game at 2. So Northern's pressure defense has been a point of contention for a lot of coaches that have come in here. Dave talked about that game with Capital and the heartbreaker and the loss, trying to slow the transition and not get Northern open shots. Lyle's trying to change that, drives, loses it. And either Coach Knowles wants a locomotion or she wanted to travel, one of the two.
I think she wanted to travel. Serban off balance on that shot.
And that's kind of, again, just kind of piggybacking on going back the first time around. Serban has 25, which tied her career high. She took 36 minutes with 9 of 13 from the field. But my takeaway was not only the 7 steals that she had in addition to 4 rebounds, but 5 of 8 from 3. Allen ends up with 18 in that game, 2 Bears in double figures to counteract the 3 on the other side. And Allen's got to be that tough defender here, but I would imagine that the armbar is going to equal a foul. That'll be the first foul on Allen.
Otterbein has 3 freshmen in the starting lineup, and Abby Rollins, Kyla Irby, and Nicole Terry, and they had a combined 40 points against Capital in their last start.
There's a little bit of confusion with Abby Rollins on where she should get away from Braden Sauter. So they switch to bring Chloe Glenn in for the first time, and a tie-up. A pair of OG Titans converging to force that turnover. Otterbein at 11.8 a game under Coach Knowles, 61 and 47 in her 5th year. Maybe she should pull a jersey on because she was an absolute baller back in her day. I don't know if you can do that. Just have a coach versus coach shootout.
I think Knowles would win.
I think Mark will tell you the same thing.
Yeah, Knowles had
great feed and seal by Chloe Glenn, but too strong. Yeah, there's a good chance she would probably win that exact thing.
Yeah, Knowles was the only Otterbein women's player to score 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists.
Also an All-American, but, you know, 3-time All-OAC. So it's just crazy to me, though. I mean, how good she was at, you know, kind of in that same mold of Bryn Serban, in that she's so good scoring the basketball, but can also help out in the assist department. Northern with a second chance, and Chloe Glenn just cannot buy a bucket. So Otterbein will race back 61 points a game. They give up 64 off a nice screen and a deep triple. Back iron for McCrary, who you talked about, the senior not getting the start, but coming off the bench averaging 10 a game. Just hasn't found that stroke from the outside yet. About a 25% three-point shooter. Is Serban trying to break everybody down. Peyton Warnicki for three straight away off the front. She's hit one of those in her career, and I was here for it. Nobody was more hyped than her mom and dad, who were back behind us. I think everybody would have been if that had gone down. Glenn trying to deface the baseline. Of course, Nagel appears there's a concerted effort to get Nagel going. Serban off a great seal. And again, the Bears have got to be about 1 for 8 from the field. Glenn, free throw line all the way around for Abby Akamine. And got away with a walk momentarily.
Officially, they're 1 out of 7, 14%.
That's pretty close. Technically, she missed the 8th shot after she traveled.
That is
Pretty
correct.
close, right?
Yes.
So here's one. You put this lineup on there. Noe Ruane in for Ohio Northern with 6:25 in the quarter. But there's a lot that young lady can do. And you put her in there with a spark plug like Abby Dixon. Still, though, everybody kind of playing off. And I'm surprised that McCrary didn't try to do more of the basketball with herself. Her and Olivia Majors. It might be coming. Shot clock down to 10, and on the reversal, Ruane has to try to deal with Maisie King, who misses with the left. Dixon out on the run, the junior. So we're going to give me a hole. Going to try to exploit it. Serban with the clock down to 15. On the run, takes to the basket, shows them how they ball in Pittsburgh. Off the glass for 2, we're tied at 4.
Serban's first basket.
First of probably many. Again, career high 25 the first time these teams played. Is now, I like the offense here from Otterbein, but the defense pretty good as well, kind of pushing everything higher than the free throw line. Serban made a mistake. Can Otterbein make him pay for it? No. Ball bounces hard off the back rim to Nagel. And she's going to be fouled by Chloe Glenn. Trying to find her mom, because I guarantee she's unhappy right now. Substitution, Mackenzie Soprano in, along with Grace Dean for the first time. If you're watching online, you can hit us up. Tell us where you are watching from, who you are rooting for, whether it's the Bears, the Cardinals, or a player, oh my. It's a feed at Akamine. I think might have forced to travel on Nicole Terry. A lot of subs. It's a busy traffic area in front of us. Down to McCrary, down to 6 when baseline kicked it across. Soprano with good hands in the face. I don't know if that kept that ball from going in. But Nicole Terry with the miss, and a ball down to the floor will stay, or will go to rather ONU. Not a timeout. 4:48 left in quarter number 1. Ohio Northern and Otterbein deadlocked at 4 here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Better than the news that John Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh are going to be reunited in the NFL, apparently. 4-4 here early on in this ball game.
And taking a look at those numbers so far, High Northern 2 out of 8 from the field, 0 for 2 from behind the arc. Otterbein, on the other hand, they have the same kind of numbers, 2 for 8 and 0 for 3, and we're knotted at 4. And that's the big news. The Harbaugh boys are going to be playing against each other.
Jim Harbaugh is now the head coach of the Chargers.
They made it official.
Probably because he couldn't get that ironclad deal. It's a precision strip timeout. Gives Ohio Northern the basketball and a chance to look across. I see the volleyball team over there supporting, and I don't know if this is the official return for the students, but there's nothing like the atmosphere here when this place is rocking with a full house. Brent Sermon's just standing around getting jokes. Do you have a favorite joke? Or is it not one you can tell here?
Probably not one I can tell here.
So if I could hear from the truck, they'd be telling me jokes as well.
They would tell them to you, but we wouldn't.
They probably are telling them to me.
They probably are.
By Dean out to Ruane. She had a 6-for-6 performance to start her senior year at St. Mary's from outside. She's a pretty good three-point shooter. She's the all-time leader in percentage. Here's a knuckleball from the outside. Mackenzie Soprano repping Waterford at ONU with a triple to make it 7-4.
Soprano with the 3.
Good looking shot from her and good ball reversal we talked about earlier on. See a handful of different players. I would say 8 players or so have already gotten into the lineup as Nicole Terry with the walk.
And you take a look at that three-point shooting percentage for Ohio Northern. You know, it can be improved. It certainly can. They're at 24%, 82 on the season. You take a look at Otterbein, and that number is at 103, and they're 4th in the conference. So a good night shooting threes by Ohio Northern is going to open up an awful lot of things.
Soprano with the basket and the foul. Just went all the way around the corner and got 2 more. Now she'll find herself at the free throw line. Mackenzie on the year, 14 out of 23. Shout out, by the way, to Eddie. He said he's an ONU alum, but his sister-in-law plays for Otterbein. He's got to be a little bit...
That's a torn.
Yeah, a little bit torn right now. So I would imagine he's just finishing with Go Bears. 3:45 to go in the quarter, and look at that. The 5-point run now. Or into 6 points, rather, in the last couple of minutes. Now is a rebound. Who else? Bryn Serban. Brody's repping the athletic trainer for Otterbein. And a 3. You get 1 from Bryn Serban, the 5th-year senior. You get 2 from Bryn Serban. And she says, go ahead and hit me with 3. It's now a 9-point run for the Bears, and they lead 13-4.
Going to have a wholesale substitution here for Otterbein.
Oh, great pass inside. Little bump and run job. Katie McCreary with the throw inside, but Nicole Terry with 2. Makes her the first 2 to not come from Ella Nagel. Good, though, response for Otterbein. Katie McCreary was a 3-year starter in high school and is a 3-year starter, rather, and was the OAC's freshman of the year as the fouls mount up at 2:52 in the first. Speaking of line changes, like you said, it started as a couple, by the way. It ended up with 6. That would be 4 and 2 because 6 on one side would just be illegal. Even though in this building, you got to feel like you're playing against 6 sometimes. Gabby Croft, the Spencerville Bearcat, had her first 3 triples in her collegiate career go down last week. She's 3 for 4 now. She missed 1 on Saturday. Pulls up top, 3 straight away, and she can set it up for Abby Dixon, too. And all of a sudden, the Bears have caught fire from behind the arc.
3 out of 5, 60%.
Meatloaf said that's pretty good.
That works.
16-6, though, after a 4-4 ball game at a timeout. Speaking of 4s, Macy King is going to be knocked to the ground. So Gabby Croft was part of a team that hit a school record in 3-pointers. She was usurped by one of her teammates last night for the Bearcats on her way to 30. Oh, she also hit 8 threes. It's one way to do it. 2:20 to go in the first quarter, still 16-6. Great spacing to get inside and on the pull-up. Just dent the side of the rim again. Rawlings. They're not bad shots. They just won't go. I don't know how much of that is a confidence or just dumb luck. Soprano on the right wing up through Gabby Croft. Croft will duck and run to the basket, off balance, and draw the foul. Good little head fake to get her there.
Her first team's fourth.
Foul on Maisie King, and back in will come Allen and Servin. Gabby Croft at the free throw line. Excuse me, Mr. Official, can I have that basketball? Second team All Northwest Conference at Spencerville under head coach Greg Ekus. Knocks down the free throw. It's just Gabby's fifth career opportunity. She's hit 4 of them. And a jinxer. I'll get a text about that. So her entire family's back behind us. Minute 45 to go. Off the fingers. Must have been off Maisie King. I'm not stepping in front of one of those passes, are you?
Not me. I'm in the right spot here tonight.
Ohio Northern here in Ada. 376 and 174 all time, but they've been pretty good at the Kinghorn or Campoli court. Allen with a beautiful move. 2 defenders sort of duck under that. She goes over top for her 4th.
Allen's 2 for 2.
Speaking of, Olivia Majors with a Major League 3.
First shot of the night. Otterbein looks like they're going to try and pick this tempo up a little bit.
She calls Springboro home, and that's about where she took it, right down past the IKEA down there off 75.
It's kind of funny. We're talking about the ability of Otterbein to hit the 3. They hit their first, but it's been Ohio Northern with the 3s, the big difference in this one.
Majors might have to sit, though. That's her second foul. We're not through the first quarter.
Shooting 2.
So Ohio Northern will get a pair of shots here after the 5th foul, and they'll come from Layla Dials. It is super quiet here now. Stiles knocks down the first of 2. Had her career high 13 points against Trinity, Texas, or season high rather. Just missed her career high. Hey, when it's your night, it's your night. Hit the back of the flange and fell down. Who needs the flange anyways? Minute 3 to go in the first quarter, and the Polar Bears leading 21-9 as that shot offline right for Rawlings. Servin with a long throw ahead, but not long enough. Maybe telegraphed just a little bit, didn't get enough air under it. It's a little hop step take, and I'm not an expert, but it's not usually an effective pass if it hits your teammate in the rear end. It's another 3 short, now without lack of trying is Rawlings. In will come Claire Radeball. Would have been different than how I would have said it.
Otterbein only 4 out of 15 from the field.
Shot clock and game clock offset by about 2.5 seconds. So Ohio Northern has got a chance here to play beat the clock before they host Mount Union on Saturday. Go to Heidelberg and Marietta next week. B-Dub and Capital come to town at Wilmington at Muskingum before the OAC tournament. Croft on the back down, drug the foot across. Coach might have had something. Soprano with a wild take. Couldn't Plinko at home, and a sideways ball up and no good. Acamino will come in. That's likely one thing. Off a screen, she might be taking this shot. Or giving it right back to Servin because she's the inbounder. So Breno look. Oh, Acamino open at the elbow. Drives inside, goes to the basket. Tough shot, too strong. And the first quarter comes to an end with Ohio Northern on top of the First National Bank scoreboard at 21-9 here in Ada on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Back here in Ada, it is a 21-9 lead after the first. Ohio Northern on top of the First National Bank scoreboard. And break that first quarter down, Dave.
I'll tell you what, 10 points off the Ohio Northern University bench. That stat is impressive that they got the good scoring off of the bench. You know, you expect, Serban, Allen, and a few of the others to score, but, Mackenzie Soprano off the bench with 6 to lead the charge.
Not just that, 6 in a row as well. Rate a ball all the way over to the right side. And before long, Rawlings is going to connect on one of those shots. She's just got too good of a setup as the pocket is picked. And here comes the theft leader for the Bears. Great no-look pass for Akamine, but it won't fall down. And Allen is tied up. Let me just tell you a couple things about Bryn Serban as the Bears keep the ball. She's played in 109 games in her career. She's the 18th all-time leading scorer at Ohio Northern, 1,129 points coming into today. Number 1 all-time in steals, number 1 in assists, and 4th in made threes. That's a pretty good career. Ruane thought about it. Little jab step for Akamine with the clock at 10. Allen seals inside. Right hand off the glass, too strong, and the box out kept her from getting back to it. Nice of a setup by Nagel. It's now the trailer, Maisie King, the junior, trying to help out. Chloe Glenn coming in, but a foul. That's a late call on Bryn Serban. And the worst part about it is, I think if you're Otterbein, is that Kyla Irby, the freshman, had a clear lane to the basket. Here comes Chloe Glenn. So the Polar Bears switch out their bigs with Allen and Glenn not really on the floor at the same time. Otterbein played from the outside, a team that, like we talked about, shoots 31%. Kicked out of bounds by Jada Benjamin. Does not get any easier, though, as we get towards the tournament. You look at Otterbein kind of playing for their tournament lives. After this game, they've got Heidelberg at home on Saturday and Wilmington on Wednesday, and they force the step out. Jada Benjamin with great defense. So here comes Benjamin now, 5'7" junior. Just a catch and run for the Valley Forge standout, just shy of 1,000 points in her high school career. Akamine with the wild take, looking like Dave in the driveway. Just throw it up and it'll go in.
Akamine with a beautiful drive to the basket, her first basket of the night.
Polar Bears leading 23-9 now on First National Bank scoreboard. Otterbein just a little discombobulated. A lot of heavy screens, though, running the baseline underneath, trying to free up Maisie King. Ball down to the floor. Abby Rawlings. I don't know, there wasn't a timeout called there because I heard it, but it ends up being a shot clock violation. The 6th turnover, is that right?
6 turnovers for Otterbein compared to only 2 for the Polar Bears.
Finally, I got one right. Mark Hulsman. He's not happy because he's never happy. In his 4th year, 58 and 28. Serban, a little underhanded throw and a short 3. Couldn't see from the angle if that had an influence to it, but Serban with, hey, a free steal, and here she comes with a 2-on-2. Oh, so quick. The lightning second step, creating the 7th point for Bryn Serban, the all-OAC point guard. Got another timeout. It's a precision strip timeout and a 30-second timeout at 25-9 ONU here in the second quarter on NK Telco Sports.
Taken over.
Back here inside the Ohio Northern University Sports Center, Campoli Court, Kinghorn, many names and right now many moves. Trying to figure out how you stop Bryn Servin on a play like that.
She goes forward, she goes backwards, and she banks it right off the glass beautifully. Very confusing, the defense. She's 3 out of 5 from the field. Hit 1 out of 2 from behind the arc, and there you see one of our younger fans, and there you see the student body. They're in amazement. That's what that is.
Funny thing is I get this on
Don't
just
you think, Michael? They're
just enough of a delay. I would have liked to see that little girl still back here dancing. Because this is how my own daughter would be. I took her to.
How do you take your own daughter to South Carolina to see South Carolina at BG?
Well, I took them to BG. We can't afford to go to South Carolina.
Well, you saw them play South Carolina.
No, they're pretty good.
And then you saw a pretty good team in Iowa, too, the other week.
Yeah, I just wanted to see Caitlin Clark. She hit 45. She tried to get her Bryn Servin on, I think is how that went.
That's right.
Oh, and all the way through. If it wasn't for Majors having to switch to go to her right hand off that move, she'd have 2. Otterbein's not scored in a while. Akamine trying to add to that at 25-9. Ruane, the catch in the back of the rim. 2 Bears fight for it, and it ends up back into the hands of Olivia Majors. So a lot of ball movement all the way around. Majors, like I said, representing Springboro. I've done a game up there. It's very odd. It's a high perch. It's a great take around the top, but these shots are just not going in. So continuing to add Irby for 3. The All-Ohioan from Cincinnati Summit Country Day High School with a miss.
4 out of 16 from the field for Otterbein.
It does not seem helpful. Servin works higher and higher. Now she'll drive and kick. Another no look, but that awkward catch by Akamine. Tried the floater. Would not fall in. Serenity Castle, the criminology major, and the 4-time all-conference pick in high school. Repping South Vienna and Catholic Central High School. And also Brody's family. Eddie's family. Watching online as Bryn Servin says, you know whose family we should talk about? Family of 1, please. It's a pickpocket. You see why she's number 1 there. All time in ONU history and a lot of things. Glenn on the double down. Through the corner. Open, left-handed stroke. In and out for Benjamin. And a no, you're Wayne. Says, I don't get those fouls called at me at St. Mary's High School. It's an entire line change for the Polar Bears, including Gabby Croft, Brooke Allen. This is a kind of a mishmash unit for Mark, too, by the way, because he's got a lot of girls who have been that second unit, and even really with the emergence of Gabby Croft, even deeper than that, out on the floor right now. Polar Bears got beat on the defensive end, and the final, no.
Just not going to go.
That was it.
Otterbein.
That was the same move. So Dials ends up back down, went for the crossover, had it just kind of a shoot away, takes it to the rack, and draws the foul. Is there a point if you're Nagel and Otterbein right now, you're reaching for the reset button? So can we just go again?
4 out of 19, that's a tough figure. And we're at 5:24 here in the second quarter of play.
Free throw up and good for the Willard standout in the junior. 22 games, making 1 start as a freshman. Now as a junior. Said if you're going to pick the music for ONU, it would be her. That's the best compliment you can get. She's got 4 points in this game. They're all from the free throw line. 4-4 is pretty good. 26-9. And the last basket, by the way, for Otterbein came about 3 seconds ago. Herbie with 2. I was going to say came a long time ago. Was that 3 from Olivia Majors.
Herbie's first basket in 6 attempts.
Soprano tied up top for Dials. And I was wondering if they were going to get her. She shuffled the feet. And the traveling violation, as the man next to you says. But I think just the 3rd turnover. Northern men in a shootout themselves with Otterbein. It was 14-14 at one point. Screen game and up top. These are tough shots. Irby, who's hit 24 from outside, just cannot find number 25. Ohio Northern men now trailing 25-16 late in the first half. Why? Because they're 1 of 11 from 3. Screen and run away from Majors. Back out. Long air ball from Serenity Castle, the sophomore. I'm going to believe, though, Dave, that that is not what Coach Knowles wants, because I heard her stomping her feet and there was no music playing.
Well, when you're shooting 1 out of 9 from behind the arc and 22% overall, 5 out of 22, tough numbers to digest.
It's also kind of fascinating to think about what the adjustment will be in about 4.5 minutes at the break. The ONU dance team is in the building. I suspect that they'll be on at halftime. Bears, great feed inside for Allen. Waited for a defender to go by. And despite the objection from the Otterbein bench of the travel, Braden Sauter says that's a foul.
Brooke Allen, always a solid presence for Ohio Northern. They know they can go to her. She has a great feel for around the basket, at the line.
There's an argument about who this foul's on, by the way, as Allen missed the first free throw. And I actually am kind of confused about this, too, because Brooke Allen, 22 of 33, but if they called it on Majors, it would be her third, but I heard everybody say 25, that it would be on at Nagel. That would be just her second.
Correction, foul on number 21, Serenity Castle.
So it'll be on Serenity Castle. That wasn't an option, but I guess that's a reversal of 1 and 2 on his fingers. And I'm pretty sure Allen missed the free throw. I swear I just heard him say to Olivia Majors, thanks for letting me know. It's a reverse layup for McCrary as her first 2. So now, after not scoring for a while, the lead cut to 27-13. Sprano coming out to help, and Dixon with that left hand. That's been an interesting kind of point of contention with officials about whether you allow that contact or not. Didn't get called for it. Drives past her defender, and Castle lost it off the hip, and it'll be going the other way. Subs back in for the Polar Bears, and Grace Dean and Bryn Servin. So 3.5 minutes up on the giant board, brought to you by our friends at the First National Bank. Dean didn't buy the ball fake. It's kicked across from Nagel. And the runner, that's 6 in a row. Now on the other side, it's the second for Irby. And it's all come in the last 2 minutes, a 6-0 run. Servin on that high screen, takes a 3 straight away. And there must be something in the air right now. I think Phil Collins said it was in the air tonight. I don't think that's what he meant.
That was almost a knuckleball.
She was just trying to take out the cameras. 2:55 to go here in quarter number 2. Feels like Otterbein being much more precise with their offense, setting things up. Mark Hilsman just staring at the official after the miss from Castle in the corner. Here comes Dixon. And bumped. Well, if Olivia Majors was trying to avoid foul number 3, I think she's going to have to ask for a reprieve here, because that will be her third. And it does not appear that Serenity Castle was in the neighborhood. Abby Rawlings back into the ball game for Otterbein, along with Maisie King. Polar Bears have Servin and Allen working the top. Allen off the screen. You can hear the communication for ONU as Servin on the drive. Fouled on her way to the basket.
Otterbein foul number 10, Katie McCrary. That's her second, team
second on McCrary.
Bryn Servin heading the line for ONU, 2 shots.
Career high 25 last time around and in December against Otterbein and Mount Union, respectively. Serber, though, not that far away from climbing even further up the Ohio Northern scoring mark.
Lane violation.
So lane violation will essentially be no harm, no foul. So here comes Otterbein with the basketball behind Rawlings, playing out of Kings High School in Cincinnati. Feeds down on the turn. That's an 8-point run to cut the lead to 27-17. Is a terrific move by Maisie King for her first two. So watch what I can do. She's actually a transfer from Ohio Dominican. She's from Florida, though, Oviedo, Florida, but she's played at two colleges in Ohio.
And also, Coach Knowles had some experience at Ohio Dominican as well.
From the same town in Florida, Oviedo, Florida, as Billy Gunn, an AEW superstar. And she had a big game here last year where she had 14 in 14 minutes. Free throws now rattled in and out for Dixon. After Northern started out so well, they hit 3 of their first 4. They've only hit 2 of the next 5. Leading 27-17, 1 out of 2. I think that's the reverse of if you talk about something bad, something good happens, right? First point for the Polar Bears in a while now. Rawlings all the way around for Nagel. Ball down to the floor and picked off by Soprano. Nearing double-digit turnovers are the Cardinals, and that ball thrown high for Allen, stripped on her way up. That's a great defensive play by Rawlings. It's a much taller player, just stuck behind her. Took it away. Ruane banged out, working on Maisie King, and eventually just slapped it out of play.
Good defense there by Ruane.
Somewhere her dad Bill is behind me smiling. Substitution for the Polar Bears that brought Ruane back into the ball game. Now on the steal. Great heads-up play. Dixon's got a couple of opportunities that she's cashed in on. She'll go to the rack now, and King was there waiting on her.
Dixon had that great acceleration inside, but just a little bit of a height disadvantage. She ran into King there.
I have that happen when I drive against taller players. So the Polar Bears down to 114. Maybe 1 or 2 possessions left here as Serban drives inside, found Allen, pulls back from the elbow. Straight back up in the air, out of the rebound, turns and scores.
1 minute remaining in the first.
6 points now in the ball game for her with 57 seconds. Like I said, maybe 1 possession each here for the next minute. Rawlings nearly broke her own ankles. Serban tried to provide the defense with helping out with Ruane. Maisie King on the back down, high left-handed take, no. Allen covers it up, and the shot and game clock different by about 9 seconds. Into the corner, Soprano for 3. Looking like she's shooting in the state title game against New Knoxville again. Puts down another one. She's got a game going right now with 9.
Got 9. She's 2 out of 4 from behind the arc.
Final 12 seconds. Rawlings on the crossover, trying to find somebody who wants to take it to the basket. Allen provided the defense to stop Nagel. Rebound to Serban, and she'll turn and look at the clock and say, yeah, we're good enough. 33-17 on the First National Bank scoreboard with Ohio Northern on top here at halftime in Ada on NK Telco Sports.
If you're a veteran, surviving spouse, or a dependent of a veteran, contact Shelby County Veteran Service Commission today. We can help you apply for a wide range of veteran-related benefits that you earned. Shelby County Veteran Service Commission. Veterans helping veterans.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Welcome back to Campbell Court here in Ada. It is 33-17. That sounds better. For Ohio Northern. A big thank you to the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, along with Precision Strip and Winners Quality Meats. Grand Lake Health Systems and NK Telco for bringing you today's game, which can be seen Thursday on Channel 160 on the NKT.TV app on NK Telco Cable. It is brought to you by NK Telco Sports and its sponsors. You can also catch it on February the 7th and the 8th at noon on Channel 3 or 503 on demand through the YouTubes. That's what my grandma calls it. The Facebook, as my grandma calls it, and nktelco.com/sports. Taking a look at the stats here at halftime, brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. A lot of things jump out at this game. There's just been 2 lead changes and 2 ties. Northern has led almost 15 minutes in the first half. But what's the number that jumps out to you?
8 out of 29 for Otterbein. That's nowhere near what they normally would shoot, 27%. Ohio Northern, actually, when you look at their 11 out of 27 from the field at 41, they started out the game at a first quarter was at much higher average. Ohio Northern's also hit 4 out of 9 from behind the arc. Otterbein only 1 out of 10. We thought that would be important in their attack, and it is, because they're not hitting anything. 1 out of 10. They have not yet gone to the free throw line. Ohio Northern 7 out of 12 at the free throw line. Take a look also, look at some of the other statistics. Turnovers 10-5. Otterbein with the big edge there. Points off turnovers, when you think about that, 11 points for Ohio Northern. Rebounding edge 2019, the Polar Bears. And you look at points in the paint, surprisingly, that's 14. That's even. And as we said, bench points, Ohio Northern's had great play off the bench. 14 points compared to only 4 for Otterbein. And when you lead into the individual stats, Mackenzie Soprano, when you talk about points off the bench, she's had a stellar first half of play, 3 out of 4 overall from shooting and 3-point range. She hit both of her shots, 1 for 1 at the line. She had 9 points to lead the Polar Bears in scoring. Bryn Servant, of course, 3 out of 7 from the field, 1 out of 3 from behind the arc. She had 7 points. Brooke Allen had 6. Abby Dixon, 4 points. Layla Dials, 4. Abby Akamine with 2 points. Gabby Croft made a free throw for the Polar Bears, 33 points. For Otterbein, not much happening. Kyla Irby with 4 points, only 2 out of 8 from the field. Ellen Nagel, 2 out of 4 for 4 points. Olivia Majors had 3 points. Maisie King with 2. Katie McCrary, the leading scorer on the team, held at 2 points. And Nicole Terry had 2 points. So those are the totals there for Otterbein. So you look at some good defense on McCrary. You look at some good shooting by Ohio Northern and good play off the bench. And really a tough offensive half, no matter how you look at it, for the Otterbein Cardinals, Michael.
Somewhere my dude Johnny Bozika is not happy. He's an Otterbein alum and is probably not thrilled about this. I didn't realize some of the other people that were Otterbein alums. Rachel Harris, who's an actress on the show Lucifer that's on Netflix that I absolutely adore. She's an Otterbein alum. That's one of the many actors that is on that. As we start the second half, Otterbein acts as if they will get the ball back, and they're right. Corey Michael Smith, who's on a show called Gotham, which he played the Riddler. It's also one of my favorites that's on that. But a lot of really neat folks have gone to Otterbein who are right now trying to will on the Cardinals to knock down some shots. And we talked about the keys of the game. Keep Bryn Servant away from the basketball. That did not work out on the first possession here of the second half.
Kylie Irby picks up her second foul, and she actually probably prevented a score by Servin.
Servin had a big crooked smile on her face of, yeah, you got to foul me to keep me from going to the basket. Akamine tried to work off a screen from Warnke. Same two will double down. Here's Servin, reverse layup and good.
Just need a highlight reel of Bryn Servin.
There would be a lot of ridiculous plays.
Abby Akamine only 2 out of 8 from the field. That's one area player where the Ohio Northern needs to get going here in the second half.
They're doing pretty well right now, though. 35-17. Ohio Northern men trailing 29-25 in the opening minutes of the second half. And Otterbein are down inside Otterbein's gym in the second possession of the second turnover for the Cardinals. And here comes that woman again. Beautiful behind-the-back dribble. Off balance, though. Kind of cost her the opportunity to get that shot high enough with Servin. King races back the other way on the low block. Throws it up with the left. And Layla Dials probably getting her first foul. I think you're really not into this game until you get at least one foul. Katie McCrary and a clear rate of ball. That's how we were told to say it, by the way. If someone wants to take it up with any of us, I don't recommend it. Free throw back rim and no good for Maisie King. Can you pull off those shoes? A little pink, a little red.
Pink, red?
It's sure like a really light color on the back on the high side, but she 1 out of 2 from the line.
She's the only one with those colored shoes on too.
I don't think you can pull it off. Might just be pink under the lights over there. Servin. Her shoes have got to have a lot of missing tread with the way she plays, kind of on the inside of her heels, and kicks out. Little give and go game. Here's Brooke Allen. Tough to stop when she gets that extra little seal, turns on the low block. You're probably not going to be able to stop her. 8 points in the ball game now for her as a triple. Need it, got it good for Katie McCrary. And you talk about players you need to get going. That's one for Otterbein. Back to within 16.
That's her first made 3 of this afternoon's game.
Again, she's like Dennis Johnson. She's the microwave if she's heating up. Not like William Perry, because he's a refrigerator, and you just don't need that. Serving off balance. Not quite sure what she saw there. 13 seconds left of the shot clock when she took that one. Rawlings will take it down, and a left-handed bounce pass from the right. Beautiful. That's a move you don't see a lot. King with 2.
Only a freshman.
Freshman throwing down to the junior, but Rawlings, again, out of Cincinnati. Now Servin, she's just going to the rack. Right-handed floater. And again, had a clear lane, and I realize it's a split-second decision that I get to see from here, but she had a free lane to go left and maybe high off the corner. On the back down, Allen got lost for a second. Nagel, though, out of Loveland High School down around Cincinnati. Comes up with a miss. It's another great move by Bryn. They kick too high on the run for Dials. Dials tried the long step and drew the foul. Get another one of those bang-bang plays where you can go either way. Is that'll be the third on McCrary. And a line change for the Bears. Is it a pack of Bears?
4 Bears come in. 1 stay.
That's the start of a children's book, right?
Yes, it is.
I think I might have read that one with my daughter.
Yeah, Bryn Servin's still in the game.
Yeah, if you're going to keep one, that's a pretty good choice. Servin, though, near the 5 seconds. Ruane and Glenn and a Soprano along with Dixon, the 4 on the floor, along with Bryn Servin. And you just got the feeling, though, Servin's got, give me the ball, I'm taking it over. And Ruane with the freakishly athletic move, but no drop. Maisie King on the outlet. Is it a pack of Bears? Pack of Bears? Family Bears?
Pack of.
I don't know what many Bears are called. Oh,
McCrary.
Many moves for McCrary. She's all of a sudden got 7. She had just 2 at the half. First on Dixon, cuts lead to 12. Lowest it's been in quite some time. When she was a freshman, she had 14.5 points a game. It's a two-time All-OAC pick. Rattles one home. 32 of 44 coming into today from the line. Get a great view of that free throw, too. Camera guy's working hard. Soprano looks inside. Chloe Glenn on an awkward bounce. Turned and found nobody. Just had to try to get it there quickly, as here comes Otterbein's offense again. King again. I am told, whether this is true or not, according to Wikipedia and our director, Austin, that a group of bears is called a sleuth or a sloth.
Sloth?
Depends on how fast they are, I guess.
Well, we're educational tonight as well.
That's what we're doing. I just never thought about that. And he, of course, Googled, probably because he was tired of me talking about it. Everybody else is too. You can shout out where you're watching from, who you're rooting for on our YouTube as well if you're watching live down there in the comments section. Or you can find us on Twitter at NK Telco Sports, at Michael Hearn PBP. And yours has got a number in it, right? Serban with the takedown, though. Do you even know your X tag?
I think it's this D. Helmstetter at 5'5".
I had to look and see if that was right. One day I'll write it down. Oh, it's just D. Helmstetter. You don't even have a number. 5:26 to go. Dave's not here, man. I was thinking of a different one, apparently. Allen from the free throw line.
Look, Allen.
You take 1,000 of those and 500 of them fall. She got one here. 4 points in the quarter, 10 overall. 39-28 Polar Bears. Deep triple, and it is apparently heating up here in the second half. Radeball with her 15th of the year and her second of the quarter for her team. And all of a sudden, it's an 8-point game. Serban drives the up and under shot and an impossible angle for the fifth-year senior out of Pittsburgh.
What a roll. Tosses it up. Right bounce. Right touch. Timeout on the court,
Just
Michael.
take your letter and move on. A precision strip timeout. 4:55 in the third, back in 30 here on NK Telco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Back here in 8 as you look inside the group of Cardinals and the sloth of Bears. I'm told now, just to continue that this is going along, that a group of Cardinals, you can obviously refer to it as a college, also a conclave,
correct,
or a deek, a radiance, or a Vatican of Cardinals. Our director is trying to make sure that we explain things correctly tonight, apparently.
What if it's a bird? It's a flock, isn't it?
I'm not even trying to go into this whole thing. One of these shots from Bryn Serban are just flat out ridiculous. She has made, in the last handful of years that we've been doing this, or at least that I've been doing this, I've seen her make some shots that just absolutely have me scratching my head. But not only do you need a little bit of luck or some Christmas magic, that last one, it hit short, it bounced twice, and somehow fell in. There's no reason that any of that should have happened. Still, though, makes it a 10-point game. As quick as it was 8, now right back to 10. Taken. Why was it? Rate a ball, though. She creates and commands a lot of room. And, you know, I was going to say Serenity Castle might have walked. She might have been better off with the walk that led to that foul. That's her third. So it's an offensive foul. The reason why the fifth foul of the quarter does not necessitate shots. I was going to say shooting, but turned into shots anyways. Ohio Northern men trailing 36-28 13 minutes to go in the second half. Akamine blew past everybody on the high take, though. Just enough of the defense from King that changed her eye line. Soprano in the corner, over the top for three. Back rim, a great box out by King, and now on the lead out. The ball fake, and Serban apparently just one step enough in front of McCrary did not give her a good enough look. Serban with a throw in, the ISO, and the left hand off the glass. Brooke Allen, that's not fair. 6'1" and moves like that.
Allen 6 out of 7 from the field. He's got 12 points now.
350 makes it 43-31 Ohio Northern on the First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank reminding you to think first and think off the screen, and something bad will happen. Here comes Serban with a rebound. 25 the first time these teams played, 11 right now. Out to Croft. Croft on the run, goes to the elbow. Low high dribble, or low pace dribbling. Goes high and draws a foul.
Otterbein foul, number 21, Serenity Castle.
So that'll be 4 on Serenity Castle. So I think Eddie might have just sold out against his sister-in-law and using his ONU alumnus card right now. Gabby Croft at the line, the southpaw. Swish. She's got 2 points in the game, both from a line. On the second, make it 3 points in the game, all from the line. First player not named Allen to score for the Bears in this half. Or Serban, depending on which one you prefer. 3:16 to go, 45-31 in the third. Serban with another steal, just flat out making plays to the basket, high and no extra roll this time around. Allen reaches across the corner, and a foul on Abby Akamine. Shout out to Bryn's mom, Paige, by the way, repping the Berg. That's a pretty long trip, though, to make from Pittsburgh to Ada. I've done it a couple of times. She's got to be thrilled right now with what her daughter's doing. The rep out of North Allegheny High School. And I said this a couple of times, Dave, about her, but, you know, with the way that this craziness with the COVID years and the 50 years and the extras have been, Bryn's got a chance to do something no player in Ohio Northern history, men or women, has ever done, which is a hard thing to do. To be all OAC, and she will be. I think she's going to win Player of the Year, personally, 5 times in her career.
That's a remarkable accomplishment when you think about it.
And only a couple of players have ever done it 4 times, and she's one of them. Nobody has ever done it 5 times. Check out the hustle. Well rewarded. She's even tracking down the ball in the hallway.
Behind the curtain, even.
You think one of the volleyball kids could have helped out?
Would have been nice.
Probably wouldn't have worked. Should have bribed him. Akamine got up on the left foot and didn't have anywhere to go. Nobody was moving. Lahaina Lua High School has got to be thrilled about what she's done in her career as a polar bear. She probably got here and says, why is it so cold? It's not like the island. It's a turn and a little punch shot for Nagel. First points in some time, though, for her team, and actually in about 2.5 minutes. Remember, they had the lead cut to 8 at 39-31. Then it ballooned. Serban with an illegal screen, as pointed out by Coach Knowles. She was a high-level baller. She'd probably be right. Here comes Abby Dixon out of Germantown Valley View High School. Got her career high of 10 against Capital this season. And either Coach Knowles wants to rock or she's got a specific play called out. I don't think she's looking to rock right now. 2:02 and a free throw line jumper. 111 misses, 111 picks it up. Great ball with the law. Dixon almost lost it behind the back. Is that how you had to perfect that move? Croft for 3. Bingo!
There it is.
There's the Bearcat again. 5 times in her career she's attempted a triple. 4 of them have gone in.
Northern now 5 out of 12. 42% from behind the arc.
5 times, just like Booker T says. Minute 25 to go, and a pass across, picked off again. Same young lady in the way. I wouldn't throw at Dixon. She's got back-to-back steals now, trying to lead to 4 or 5 points for the Polar Bears. Drive and that dribble toss for Akamine. Works on her defender. And an offensive foul. It's the second time now, and I said that earlier on, if you remember, in the first half, about a handful of players had done that exact move of that little dribble and then just enough with a shiver with the arm or the hand about when that was going to get called. Well, apparently 1:07 in the third.
Normally that's called frequently.
So with a minute to go here in the quarter of a 3, this has gotten away from Otterbein, the same way that the men's game has gotten away from the Polar Bears. 48-33 here. It's 47-33 at Otterbein. That one's got 9 minutes to go in the ball game. And really, we're pretty close. We have about 11 minutes to go in this game. It's eerie how that happens. Substitution for Otterbein will be Nicole Terry, the 5'10 freshman. She'll be joined by Ella Nagel, 5'10 sophomore.
You look at Ohio Northern's depth and their experience, and it wears on Otterbein.
It wears on a lot of folks.
Wears on a lot of folks. And the inside game, what's amazing is that Otterbein has held their own on the boards, but we're tied at 27 on the boards, but it doesn't feel that way.
Croft after the foul on Nagel. Of course, she hit the shot anyway. That'll be the third on Nagel. Everybody in the game has got 3 for the most part, it feels like, for Otterbein. Dave's got 1. I've got a couple. Dave had a hand check foul earlier in the game. 34 seconds left in the quarter. Croft at the line. Sends home another. She got 6 in the quarter. 7 overall. With a chance to put up the 8. Oh my goodness. And if you actually watch that, I watched the replay of it and didn't realize how much backspin she has when she puts that up. This is the way it came off her fingers. Most people have kind of a forward spin. That one was straight back and up and in. So again, the one-time 8-point lead back to 17. Every time we talk about Pittsburgh, I just think about Permani. Just think about what I get from there every time. 6-1 are the Polar Bears here at home. Trying to add a 7th. That's an awkward take. And an eventual travel. Now, watching that from my perspective, McCrary, I don't want to say got away, but for a split second.
Almost got away.
Almost got away, but I don't know if there was a delay in calling it, but I was watching Coach Doles the whole time. She just turned kind of for a split second of, all right, never mind. And just threw her hands up of whatever. All the way to the basket, and a foul with 2.9, because you can't have a quarter ending without a foul.
17 turnovers overall for Otterbein.
24, Nicole Terry, that's her second.
Ohio Northern. How many do you think Ohio Northern has? How about 9?
Feels like more. Feels like 9 is underselling it. So Dixon back into the ball game, appeared in 24 as a freshman and averaged 2.8 a game. And Coach Doles went right to Braden Sauter and said, excuse me, sir, I know you're a newlywed and all, but can you explain to me how that's working? 1 out of 2 from the line for Dixon, and the third quarter comes to an end with the Polar Bears on top of the First National Bank scoreboard, 51-33 here on NK Telco Sports.
We are here. And here. And here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
So what you don't realize during these breaks is that one of us is dancing. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
I would make a recommendation and exclude somebody like myself.
Stats at the end of the third.
Stats. How about Otterbein, 14 out of 41?
It's not good, I don't think.
No, it's not. 3 out of 12, only 25%. 2 out of 3 at the line. Ohio Northern, 17 out of 41 from the field, 5 out of 12 from behind the arc, and really only 12 out of 19 from the free throw line. 63% really could be a big difference even further. Two teams are relatively even in rebounds, 28-27. Otterbein make it 29-27.
The correct answer to who dances at the end of the quarter is Jason Aldrich, the PA announcer. It's him. They're playing Rihanna again as the flat-footed block by Dean. Here come the Bears again. You got to feel like if you're Otterbein, though, as Ohio Northern is shooting a disproportionate amount of free throws. And a foul underneath. Let's see, did you just manifest that? Is that what happened? Katie McCurry's fourth.
Team's first in the quarter.
It's down to 9:20 to go. Northern men now down 13 as the kick ball. Now, people are going to argue, but the official was standing in play, and that makes that a live ball. Had he been out of play, it would have been a turnover. On the back down, too strong, just off the line for Gabby Croft, but I don't know how many people can see necessarily from the angle, but we have the official across the way was in bounds over near the volleyball line. That ball bounced off him. He actually kicked it. Why he didn't call himself for a kick ball, I'll never know. Olé! 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Teams have met many, many times over the years. How Northern leads the series 60-36, including 34-16 in the 50 meetings here. Driving out to the elbow with the shot clock winding down is Rawlings. Polar Bears have won 5 straight in the series. 2 out of 3 here, or actually 3 out of the last 4 here in the Kinghorn. That's what I wrote down to call this place this time. Dean on the back down, draws 2 defenders. Somebody's got to be open. And the two-handed shot, Dials just didn't have enough power.
Had the opening, had the shot.
Got to carve up the meter as the help defense. Serban kind of let the offensive player, Irby, go for her 6-point. Lead cut to 51-35, almost exactly what the men's game is. 5 minutes to go in the second half, 54-39 Otterbein. Northern men trying to get some things together before they get to the tournament. And Layla Dials turn the insanity level and the difficulty to 13, and she'll put it down. 6-point for her, first basket from the field. King and crew will check in, but not after the 3 falls, because it did not. Soprano with the run out, 3-on-0. Coming back the other way, 1 bounce, high left hand, and Layla Dials with back-to-back baskets. And that one was kind of fascinating because she let it take an extra awkward hop. Now Dean on the back down, knew the play was coming to the baseline, but still didn't get in front of Nagel. It's a terrific move by Nagel. Sophomore out of Loveland High School in the greater Cincinnati area.
So Dials has 8 points and 2 out of 3 from the field, 4 out of 4 on the free throws. I think on that last one felt like she was coasting, wanted that extra step after missing the earlier.
I think she's thinking about dunking it.
Didn't quite have the angle.
Right. Didn't get a good enough alley-oop. It wasn't the dunk contest over the car. 55-38. Again, it's weird how this game parallels the exact reverse of the men's game. It's 54-39 at Otterbein. But it's Otterbein with the lead. Northern women with the ball. Little shuttle for Serban into Brooke, rather. And Brooke Allen. I was watching the move, and it was beautiful, and I got lost. She's got 14.
Otterbein, just no way to stop her.
Speaking of, Kyla Irby showing why the freshman was such a good pickup for Coach Knowles. Rowan's first foul. Actually, I thought that was her second. They must have changed that one earlier. So Irby.
Great burst of speed on that baseline. The score for Otterbein.
Represents Summit Country Day with the up and down. 5 for her in the quarter, 9 overall. Mackenzie Soprano returns for the Polar Bears. 6:47 left on the board. 57-41. Ohio Northern University. So 6:40 to go. Ball to the floor. It ends up with Serban. And Mark Hillsman, you ever seen him move that fast?
That was a record pace. He got the timeout, too.
It's an offensive lineman just chugging down the floor. It's a precision strip timeout. Ohio Northern on top, 57-41 here on NK Telco Sports. .32 to go in quarter number 4, 57-41. Another thing that you don't get to see during these breaks is the fact that Kurt Kuffner, Paul Downing, and Josh Miller are probably the 3 hardest working dudes that you will find, because between them and our AD and Jeff Henshin and our director and Austin Abergy, there's a lot of things that go into being able to put these games together. And they're also the guys who are probably the most obtrusive to other coaches when they just walk up and stick a camera inside their huddle.
That was Paul Downing's responsibility in front of us, at least. Gets a good look inside the Otterbein huddle, and of course Kirk Kuffner doing the same over on the Ohio Northern side.
Yeah, but you notice he does it from a distance. He's just going to use his camera, not get caught up in a sloth of bears. Fine, a sleuth of bears, whatever. I don't think he knows that's right.
I'm not sure it's right either.
Also, yeah, I can't read. See what happens when I read the sheet and then I get a correction about Mark? I just read the sheet. It was not updated. 57-41. Ohio Northern. I blame the guy that typed this out. It's another good little hide and seek screen. I don't know the fancy terms for this, but that's what I call it when you duck behind one of your own players and take that 3. Unfortunately for Otterbein, Irby offline. There goes Serban again. Left hand, like in the driveway in the PGH. Up off the glass and good. She's scored in every quarter. She's got a ho-hum 13. A step on the end line is another turnover. I believe that's 17. And Ohio Northern set up defensively. One problem? They have the ball. They also get Chloe Glenn back into the ball game. They really did. They all sat down and started trying to set up. Shout out to Steven, by the way, out in Albuquerque. You can't get there from here, but he is watching and rooting on Bryn Serban, Bryn's cousin. Proud of her athletics and her scholastics. Apparently she's pretty smart. Glenn with a rebound, just an odd carom. Back up top, 3 away, Dixon! Bang! She took that to one of the bars up the street.
She's got 8 points. She put a smile on Mark Hillsman's face.
Which does not happen often. It's the give and go and the roll home from Irby. Big quarter for Irby now with 7 of her 11 points, and it's 62-43. And a foul. The Stone Cold Braden Sauter said so. And a timeout. 4th foul on Majors, 4:56 to go here in quarter number 4. Those are brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll just stay here and look at kind of what is going on in this game. Again, I love to ask this, but what jumps out at you right off the stat page?
Right off the stat page, I'm looking at individual stats right now. And there's a nice balance that Ohio Northern has shown here today. Brooke Allen, 7 out of 8, primarily inside, which shows her advantage height-wise against Otterbein. She has 14 points. And, of course, Bryn Serban, 6 out of 16, 1 out of 4 from behind the arc, and 13 points. You also have off the bench, that point still rings true here as we move deeper into this game. Mackenzie Soprano with 9 points, 3 out of 6 shooting, 2 out of 4 from behind the arc. Layla Dials, another good solid game, 8 points, 2 for 3, 4 for 4 at the line. Another one off the bench, Michael, is Gabby Croft out of Spencerville. 1 for 2 from the field, 5 out of 6 at the line. She has 8 points. And I tell you, a player that's played very well is Abby Dixon. She's 1 for 1, hit her 3, and hit a couple of free throws, and she has 5 points, but playing very aggressively out front for Ohio Northern, and that combined with the play of Bryn Serban, that's a pretty good mix of basketball players.
I'd say it's a pretty good recipe for a 19-point lead.
It is.
The Polar Bears again back at home against Mount Union on Saturday. Game you can see here as Ruane blocked but stayed with it. Oh, and a beautiful pass underneath that Glenn will not get a smile for getting to go down. She had the crooked smile of, why? Are you too good for your home? It's Happy Gilmore, look it up. 4:27 to go. Go home, ball. Just enough of the defense from Dials that she was, or from Dixon rather, that she was able to stand in front to force the second look. Rada Ball with her second triple cuts the lead to 62-46. But remember, mid-third quarter, it was her first basket from behind the arc that made it an 8-point disadvantage at 39-31, and then it just kind of went sideways after that for the Cardinals. Dixon races to the basket. Offline, here come the Cardinals. It's Olivia Majors, after picking up her 4th foul, running the offense, hit a 3 in the first quarter. Inside King just kind of covered it up just enough that when she turned her hand, it went awkwardly off the back of the rim. Soprano on the left wing. She's so quick with the basketball. I was surprised that this is a much different lineup in the game. As Allen and Serban will return here in a second, but trying to get that seal and then ISO off the low block. Shot clock winding down, ball scoops in and out. Soprano sticks in there, steals the rebound. Glenn off the bounce, gets her first 2. Might have used a little offhand there to create space.
She worked hard to get that basket.
Had over 700 points in her career at Ottawa Glandorf, was set back by a knee injury. You see the heavy brace as a junior. And now a foul will go, predictably, on Chloe Glenn because we were talking about her.
That's her second.
That'll be her second. Out will go she and Soprano for the 2 young ladies that I just mentioned.
Ella Nagel at the line for Otterbein, 2 shots.
Ella Nagel at the line, 5'10" sophomore. Just hit a thud. 1 out of 2. She came in 23 of 32. Second, heard it hit, fell down. She had the first points for Otterbein. Once upon a time, this was a 4-4 ball game. My math says it's about 60 to 43 since that point. I don't know if that's right. 2:45 to go.
That's about a half hour of playing time ago, too.
And a rebound for Allen. What looked like Otterbein was trying to fight, saying maybe that was a tie-up.
Foul number 5, Anna Waskowitz for
Waskowitz giving her first infraction.
8 rebounds for Brooke Allen. Is always amazing to see how well she plays around the basket, positions herself to get rebounds, and in this case draws the foul and shoots the free throw.
Out of Woodville and Woodmore High School, second team OAC last year, the all-time leading scorer at Woodmore High School. 1442 on the point scoring, 871 rebounds. And she's fascinating to me because she's got the Woodmore records as she knocks down 2 and sends her on her way, potentially with 16 for the game. But she had 31 points in the game that she broke 1,000. She had 18 and 12 earlier this year against Otterbein, but it's the fact that she has records in basketball and volleyball, kills and aces for her career and a season. They didn't keep records her freshman year, but she did it in 3 years. Rate ball with a 2 on the other end. So when you know you're a pretty special athlete. Most people do it in 4 years, you just do it in 3. Polar Bears 8-2 in the league, sitting in second place, trying to secure their spot and a potential at least 1 home game in the OAC tournament. Now spin moves that didn't get anywhere for Dials except for fouls. They are unhappy in the view of my right. It's Peyton Warnicki and Grace Dean came back in for Ohio Northern with Jada Benjamin. But if I don't look to the right, I don't realize that they are approaching apoplectic territory. Minute 55 to go after the foul. Any foul on either side results in free throws as Dean has one punched just past Mark Hulsman. So offensive lineman made absolutely no bones about the fact that he wasn't touching that ball, the former Wittenberg standout. Rich Bensman tells me he was part of a national championship down there, too. Polar Bears, off a hard screen. And a foul on the floor. Waskowitz with the foul. Also representing Pittsburgh, PA, but went to North Catholic High School. So even more people whose family will not bring me Permani brothers when they come to visit. In for the first time, Sophie Smith, 5'7" junior for Otterbein. She played in 1 game. She scored 2 points this year. Calls Morgan local high school in McConnellsville.
I was told she was 44.
Oh my goodness. That's who I was told that was, by the way. Free throw up and good by Benjamin, her first points. 1:48 to go in a 68-49 game. The young lady doing the stats is the one that told me that that's who that was. It's now Nicole Terry into the game. Doubles down, goes around the defense, but still no dice. The shoulder throw. Wasn't a bad shot for Majors. Still hanging in there with 4 fouls.
Fouls on Otterbein, number 5, and Waskowitz. That's her.
Waskowitz with another foul. I think everybody is just getting her fouls now. She's been given 3 fouls in a row.
2 shots.
And Benjamin will go to the line for the second consecutive time. 962 points, the 9th all-time leading scorer at Valley Forge High School in Parma. Team captain, 3-time team MVP. Beautiful place to go up there in Parma. Just outside of the Greater Cleveland sign right off the highway. Misses both. Talk nice about a kid, bad things happen. Minute 23 to go. How Northern men are going to fall at Otterbein, by the way. I'll say that score in a second. It's a short take from Radeball. Sorry, Radeball. Still not used to that. Minute 9 to go. 29 seconds. The Ohio Northern men have gotten within 11, but they're down 64-53. This is a hometown girl into the lineup for the Polar Bears. And Courtney Sumner playing in her 9th game.
Also in the lineup, number 24, Lexi Brewer, freshman out of Sydney.
Playing in her 5th game. Polar Bears leading 68-49, make it 68-52 as that triple from the line. There was a mistake there. There was no stoppage to allow for that substitution, and it kind of has to happen. I think that 3 was Radeball again, right?
That was Radeball.
I was watching the subs run by me and didn't really understand what was happening. It's kind of the inadvertent horn. But again, Ohio Northern men down 64-53 as Brewer. Off that high screen. Brewer for 3. And the bench mob erupts. Lexi Brewer with her first triple of the year on her first shot. She's the second Polar Bear in the last 2 games at home to do that. Makes it 71-52. That's a feel-good moment right there.
It certainly is. She had a tough career, actually, at Sydney. Lots of injuries, but she battled back, had a great junior, senior year, and playing here at Ohio Northern.
So Moskowitz finally gets to feel like what the other side of that foul line is like. Brewer, the only player, Moskowitz up and down on the free throw now, 4 of 5 on the season. But Brewer, like he talked about out of Sydney, the 4-year starting point guard, standout sprinter, but the only player in Sydney history to have at least 300 steals, rebounds, and assists while scoring over 500 points in her career. I used to think those things were made up, but sometimes they work out. Give her shine and her flowers. I think her flowers is what they say. So also, just want to mention, too, that Jovi Studebaker, the sophomore, got in for Otterbein, but a 71-54 win is what her rivals, Ohio Northern, are going to see go up on the giant board at the First National Bank scoreboard with the Polar Bears. Winners by 17 here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Hometown Opportunity serves Mercer County, Auglaize County, Darke County, and Shelby County.
The website as a whole is pretty user-friendly. I was able to filter down my options, see what types of jobs were out there for me in the area.
It really opened up my eyes to the employer market around here.
We know that our local candidates, a lot of times, are our most successful candidates because they want to come here and stay.
become the go-to site for anybody looking for a job in the region.
Is it right?
Back here inside the ONU Sports Center in a 71-54 win for the women, who go to 9-2 in OAC play, pick up their 11th win of the season. Unfortunately, the Ohio Northern men fall by 12, 65-53 at Otterbein. Women are back in action on Saturday. It was a big matchup with the Mount Union. 2 o'clock coming to play. We'll have that here on NK Telco Sports, but a trip to Heidelberg on Wednesday and Marietta on the 3rd, home from B-Dub on the 7th, which is always a big game. Capital comes a-calling on the 10th, at Wilmington on the 14th to spend Valentine's Day with the Bears and the Quakers, and then Muskingum on the 17th will host Ohio Northern. Otterbein and Coach Doles will head home to take on Heidelberg on Saturday, Wilmington next Wednesday. They're pretty much just doing the flip of what Northern's doing. At Baldwin Wallace, home for Marietta, at Muskingum, at John Carroll, home for Mount Union to wrap up the season. Bears go to 11-6 on the year. Cardinals drop to 6-12 and 4-7, trying to stay somewhere afloat in the bottom half of the OAC. But a lot of things, if you look at the stats brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems, that there are a lot of scorers in this ball game. Ohio Northern has a handful of girls in double figures, led by Brooke Allen, the game's leading scorer, with 16. Bryn Servin with 11. And then it's 3, by my count, in double figures on the other side, led by a pair of young ladies with 11. Irby has a great fourth quarter for Otterbein to outscore Ohio Northern 21-20.
Yeah, take
in the second.
Taking a look at the shooting from the field, Ohio Northern 24 out of 60, 7 out of 17 from behind the arc. At the line, 16 out of 24, all solid numbers. And as you said, nice balance in their scoring attack. Otterbein struggled early. Really, they finished 21 out of 57 from the field, but only 5 out of 16 from behind the arc, 7 out of 9 at the line. Rebounding-wise, the edge to Ohio Northern just by a single rebound, 39-38.
Those turnovers and that bad start, kind of the difference maker in this ball game of how this goes. Ohio Northern led for 34 minutes and 52 seconds. Otterbein for just 2:10. It was a 2-2 ball game, a 4-4 ball game, and that was pretty much the end of it. One lead change after that, and then Northern goes on a 21-point big lead. They go on an 11-point run in that quarter. Rebounds, like you said, you just look at the game for Brooke Allen, 16 points, 8 rebounds, kind of right in line with a 15-12 she had the first time these teams played. You get Chloe Glenn had 6 rebounds in 10 minutes. That's a big thing for Northern going forward, but a lot of things to digest about this ball game. I know Mark Hillsman will look at it and go, yeah, the scoreboard's a 71-54, but there are a lot of things I would like to clean up before the Mount visits on Saturday.
I think just probably a little bit more consistency in play, but when you look at the depth, sometimes these games like this, it helps you build that depth that you need through the course of an OAC season. And I think that's what you saw here tonight. He played a lot of players. They got some good minutes, like Gabby Croft came off the played very well. Chloe Glenn, all of them, getting some valuable experience that they're going to need as they move, towards that OAC tournament that you talked about earlier.
And hopefully at least 1, maybe 2 home games here as well. But don't forget, this game will run on Channel 160 on Thursday at 6 o'clock on NK Telco Cable and the NKT.TV app. Also on February the 7th and 8th on Channel 3 and 503 at noon. But you can always watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. A lot of other games going on this week. And a big thank you to the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, along with Precision Strip, Winners Quality Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco, and as well as our 4 cameramen in Kurt Kuffner, Paul Downing, Josh Miller, and of course Mark Fissel. Got to get him his flowers too. Our assistant director in Jeff Henshin, our director in Austin Ambergy. And for Dave Homesteader, I'm merely Mike Hearn. Have a great night. And an even better tomorrow from all of us here at NK Telco Sports.
So how good is